Hey, what's up guys? It's Tater from Tater Team Six, and this is another Tater tutorial. This is my complete guide to explosives in Deadside, where I'm going to go over the best places to farm the materials needed to craft them, and how much damage they do to each part of a player-made base. First part of this guide, we're going to go over what you're going to need to craft each type of explosive. You're going to need an electronics repair kit, 4 explosive bricks, and a phone to make an explosive charge. The electronics repair kit doesn't ever get consumed when crafting, so you only need one of these. The dynamite bundle requires 7 sticks of dynamite and a piece of rope to craft. The phones and rope are easy enough to find, but what most of you are probably here for are the bricks and the sticks. There's quite a few ways to farm explosives, but if you're looking for the fastest method, come check out the airfield in the bottom right of the map. This location contains many loose loot spawns for explosives, but it's also the hottest location on the map for PvP, so be ready for a fight. Let's start with the tents. There are 5 spots at airfield that have tents, and they have pretty good chance of spawning explosives and guns. You can also find clothes in these tents to rip up for healing or for making sleeping bags. The tents are good spots to put a bag near because you can almost always find a gun to run back into the battle with if you are killed while doing this run. Next, we have what I call the Earth Mound hangars. There are 7 Earth Mound hangars that can be looted, and if you're just here for explosives, then just go to the small room near the front of each hangar. The big open part of each hangar is useful for finding parts to make a vehicle lock if you're looting with a vehicle. After that, we have the big green hangars. There are 3 big green hangars near the south part of the airfield that contain tons of great loot. You can find explosives in the rooms, on top of the boxes, and in the Connex containers. The 2-story rooms inside these hangars can be climbed on top of, and there they sometimes spawn higher tier guns. On top of and behind these rooms are good locations to hide a bag. This final location at airfield is hands down the best location to find explosives. Some of you might know already, but I'm talking about the barracks. There are 8 barrack buildings at the airfield, and the main cluster of 6 buildings is in the southeast portion of the airfield. You can also find one barrack near the air traffic control tower and another about 400 meters north of the main cluster. Each barrack building has an armory, and each armory has a safe. Inside each safe, you typically find multiple explosives at a time. I've also found explosives on the beds and inside bags while looting the barracks. The armory is always the darker gray rusty door, and you don't need to open the safe like I do in the clips. You can just hit tab while standing next to it and use area loot. This is the main PvP spot in airfield, so always stay alert for other players. Since airfield tends to be such a popular spot for PvP and for looting, you're going to find a lot of sleeping bags. Just equip your knife and break them whenever you do see them. And you also want to hide your bags so that people don't do the same to you. If you want your bags to have a separate timer when respawning, you're going to need to place them 300 meters away from each other. So once you place one, mark it with a waypoint on your map and run at least 300 meters away before placing the next one. This will allow you to spawn more than once and get back into the battle if you're getting killed a lot. For those of you that just can't stand going to airfield or it's just too far from your base, I have some alternatives. Cargo drops that parachute down from the sky tend to have dynamite sticks, usually enough to make one bundle. The helicopter crashes can also have dynamite sticks in the loot chest, but these helis are typically guarded by 6 to 7 military AI that use RPKs and regular Mosins. Looting the trunks of cars along the road is also a good method for finding dynamite sticks while you're out exploring the world of Deadside. The harbor known as Doubles also has explosive spawns in the 2 big buildings on the southern end of the area. Now that you've farmed up a bunch of explosives, let's go over how many you're going to need to prepare for your next raid. In Deadside, bases are built from 3 different materials. You've got branches, wood, and metal. Branches are what everything starts out as and is incredibly weak. You can spawn in with just your knife and break a branch door. It takes 2 knives for a branch wall, but they're still very easy to take down and don't require any explosives. The next material after upgrading from branch is wood. This material can't be damaged by guns or knives and requires explosives to break. Wood doors have 2,000 health, and wood walls have 4,000 health. And the final and strongest material is metal. Metal walls and doors take a bit of explosives to get through, so they can make a base expensive to raid if your target has an entirely metal base. Metal doors have 6,000 health, and metal walls have 12,000 health, so they take 3 times more explosives to raid compared to wood. Our 2 main raiding tools in Deadside are explosive charges and dynamite bundles. Unfortunately, the devs in Deadside decided to make the damage these explosives do a range instead of a specific number. The dynamite bundle does 900 to 1100 damage, and the explosive charges do 1900 to 2100 damage. This damage range does tend to cause little hiccups in your raid, where the amount of explosives that you thought would be enough to go through a door or a wall just wasn't enough, and they have a little bit of health left over, after you've used what should have been the right amount of boom. Because of this, it's usually good to bring either grenades or a grenade launcher to deal that little bit of damage to finish breaking what you're raiding. So when raiding wood structures, it should take either 1 charge or 2 bundles for a door, and 2 charges or 4 bundles for a wall. And when raiding metal, it should take 3 charges or 6 bundles for a door, and 6 charges or 12 bundles for a wall. And like I said before, you should never use explosives on a branch base. Just pull out your knife and put a weight on your mouse to just keep swinging until it crumbles down. And that's it. Thanks for watching my explosive guide for Deadside. If you made it all the way to the end, please give us a sub. It really helps the channel grow, and drop a like to show me if you guys want me to keep making more Deadside content.